Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing? Check it out. I got my mic boom. I can move it all over the place with me. Super cool. In today's photograph on the wall, I have my buddy Alex Prifty over there. That's one of my favorite trucks. Obviously, the color scheme works well for me. So that was a lot of fun. Video I did a little while back. How are you guys doing? Caden Pierce, happy Sunday, everyone. May y'all have a good work week. Good vibes. I like that, man. How you doing? What's washing today, dude? Long haul. Lincoln, love your videos. Thank you, man. Just left your shop. Yeah, I just watched a record today. This is going to be a nice video. It's going to be real fun. Came out real good. I'm doing well, man. Thank you. Yeah, so we have a fun video to check out today. This looks like this one didn't go too good. We're going to see what we can do to help out. Lavoro over here. Let's see what he's got going on. I haven't seen this video yet, so I want to see what happens. But I imagine he's not getting very good foam from his silencer injector. That's the same injector I use in my wash bay. But we'll get to the bottom of this. Maybe we'll help him out. So let's check it out. Let me know how the audio levels are.
Everybody, my name is Martin with Lavoro Auto Spa, and today's video is, I mean, you can already tell by the title, so it's about a foam injector that Chem-X sells. They don't manufacture it, they just get all the components together like a kit. And what does that remind you of? It reminds me of Obsessed Garage. And I've been saying basically that Chem-X is like the Obsessed Garage of truck and fleet washing. So if you are serious about that aspect, you know, like if you're a professional and you're washing crap loads of cars and trucks and the fleet, things like that, Chem-X is the way to go. Obsessed Garage is more focused on residential, and both great companies. Obsessed Garage is great.
Thank you, man.
Anyways, Chem-X, this is called their silencer foam cannon kit, or not foam cannon, excuse me, their silencer foam injector kit. So if you don't know what a foam injector is, you're going to find out in this video. It's basically something that draws a soap straight out of the container, and it's got a foaming tip at the end. So it's interesting, and I'll get into that in a second. Let's go ahead and pull out everything that you get. And again, this kit costs about $300. You know, it's not cheap, but in the long run, it is going to save you time, and it's going to save you money on soap because of the amount of soap that it uses or doesn't use compared to a traditional foam cannon.
It could. That's very true.
So in the kit, they give you a gallon of their foam soap. I've already done a full review of this. If you want to watch it, just check out my channel, Chem-X Foam.
I still got to check that out.
And then, now here is, take it all out. I did order an additional thing for this. I ordered the Safe Flow lid pickup tube.
Oh, nice. Those are cool.
Which is this. It threads onto the top of these gallons just in case it knocks over. So this is the standard pickup tube that it comes with, which is fine. I already changed it out and took it off. And this is... So this is the Suttner, I don't know the model number, it's made by Suttner. Suttner makes a lot of pressure washing components for...
Yeah, it's a Suttner ST160. We just make it ready with there's a nozzle inside of that thing basically that's sized to the size of the rinse nozzle you have on your power washer. So we set that up, and then we put the quick disconnects on, and we put the 1% ratio tip in, which cuts automatically at about 100 to 1.
For commercial and industrial use. If you're not familiar with Suttner, think of like MTM Hydro and Mosmatic. They're all in the same boat. They all make high quality commercial pressure washing components, and commercial and industrial. So this is the solenoid injector. So basically what this does is you hook this end up to the outlet of your pressure washer, and then you just hook this up to your pressure washer hose. And here is the foam tip. So you put this on the end of your lance, and when you connect this will automatically start to draw soap out of the container. When you remove this and you replace it with your rinse tip, it just goes straight to water. Super easy, right? No foam cannons to fill up, no additional crap to deal with. You just put this on, take it off. And this...
Yeah, so that is a good perk of it. I mean, that's the main perk of it. The drawback with these is that when you get into, and this is what I'm assuming is happening in this video, because I gathered from the title that this doesn't go well. Basically the injector has the sizing of your rinse nozzle. Let's say you have a smaller power washer and you have a 3.0 or a 3.5 rinse nozzle, so a very small orifice. The injector has to be sized to that, and then this foam cannon, to operate the injector remotely the way that they work, has to be larger, about usually 4 or 5 sizes larger. Maybe on a 3.5 injector you'd have like an 8.0 on the foamer nozzle, and the purpose of that is to drop the pressure just enough so the Venturi can work in the ST160. And so for that reason, on smaller power washers, even though it'll operate, the foam isn't going to be as good. And so that's I think that's why detailers don't usually use the Suttner ST160 and 164, or also the 170 or the 75 ST75, the foamer nozzle itself, because it doesn't have as small of a nozzle as the PF22 would have. When you use a normal PF22 foam cannon on a smaller machine, you get thicker foam, because I think the PF22s come sized with a 3.5 orifice, and because that is the Venturi nozzle, it doesn't have to drop the pressure. So it kind of puts out a better foam on a smaller machine. I'm assuming a lot here, though. Let's see what actually happens.
This has a, I think that adjusts the fan. I'm not sure exactly. We'll find out when we test it out. My friend dropped his car off. It's pretty dirty. And I'm not going to be doing a full wash on camera. I'm going to do that off camera. I'm just going to use his car as a guinea pig. So this unscrews. Interesting. And it's probably so you can repair.
Real quick, Rob T. just wanted to say I painted that black and white Rosati truck. And I have to say you did a great job making it look new again. Thank you, man. You did a great job painting it, because that paint stayed on there even while I was using a big power washer on that thing. And it didn't lose any paint. I got to give you some props for that, man.
Repair it. But yeah, we're going to keep that screwed in there. All right. And yeah, this is the pickup tube that.
Let me back up just a hair here.
This unscrews. Interesting. And it's probably so you can repair it.
So that's the rinse nozzle.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Martin with Lavoro Auto Spa.
So that's the rinse nozzle.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Martin with Lavoro Auto Spa.
What's going on here? That's the rinse nozzle.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Martin with Lavoro Auto Spa.
What's happening here? Oh wait, I'm looking at my live stream. Oh, I'm messing this all up. What's happening here? Oh wait, I'm looking at my live stream. Oh, I'm messing this all up. Hang on. What's happening here? Oh wait, I'm looking at my live stream. Oh, I'm messing this all up. This is a mess. What a train wreck. All right, here we go.
Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Martin with Lavoro Auto Spa.
I think I salvaged that.
And today's video.
So here we go.
If you don't know what to use, they have a site, or they have a.
Here we go. Here's where we were. So
this unscrews.
What I was trying to say is,
it's probably so you can repair it.
That right there is the insert nozzle, and that's usually sized to a 7 or an 8. So it's a much bigger orifice, so you don't get that same thickness of foam on a smaller machine, is what I was trying to say earlier, just to visualize this. So just something to be aware of. If you have a smaller power washer, these work good for me because I have like 4 gallon per minute 2,500 PSI power washers that I run these with. So I get good foam here. But if you have smaller specs than that, and most detailers, I think, use smaller machines like 2 gallons per minute, and then you start getting less foam than you would on a PF22.
But yeah, we're going to keep that screwed in there.
And it would still be coming out at the right strength, but it wouldn't be whipped up as much as a PF22. So you could still work with it, but it wouldn't be as
right.
much clingy foam.
And yeah, this is the pickup tube that threads onto the top of the gallons, and it's got nice threading in it, nice durable construction. Not cheap, so that's just something additional I ordered. What you get in addition is you get all these different little orifices, and these orifices you put down here. The orifice size is going to depend on your pressure washer's gallon per minute and its PSI. If you don't know what to use, they have a site, or they have a chart on their site that tells you which orifice size, so they can pre-install it for you. Or if, in my case, my GPM wasn't on there, so I emailed them. They replied back the same day, said, hey, 2.0 orifice size is going to be good for you, good to go. I said, all right, thank you. I ordered the 2.0 size, so hopefully that's what's in here. This is just information about the safe flow lid.
Yeah, I'll have to find out from my guys if they know more about what's going on there. They would know what size insert nozzle we put in there. It sounds like we sized the injector to a 2.0
nice
nozzle.
Card. Thanks for your support. Chem-X is a great company. It's an American company based out of Massachusetts.
Thanks, man.
If you didn't know. And that's it, guys. So let's go ahead and get to how you hook this up, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here we are at the pressure washer. This is my outlet. Now you are going to need the female connector on the end of it. If you have the male connector, you can order those from Amazon, or you can order them from Chem-X directly. They can hook you up as well. I got mine off Amazon. I forgot to cut this, so let me cut that off real quick. Alright, so it's as simple as this, guys. Here's a solenoid. Connect that right here. And I just realized I forgot to change out the, oh no I didn't. Here's the end of the pressure washer hose. Connect that right there. It's all connected, good and tight. Grab your favorite soap. Now if you're using something like a Copper Reset 3D Super Soap, you're going to want to pre-dilute that to a certain degree before you use it. But if you're using a soap that has a similar foam cannon dilution ratio between 4:1 to 10:1, you can draw straight from here. So no problem at all. Open that up. This is all you do. It's on there nice and tight. So I'm going to grab a marker. I'm going to mark where we have the soap, so we can come back. I'm going to foam the whole car, just so we can come back and see how much soap this draws from a gallon.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to
see.
So, real quick, if you look on that product, let's see here. Let's pull this thing up. Suttner ST160. So, this injector comes with a different pack of ratio tips. You mentioned other soap there that you'd want to cut the soap ahead of time. I don't know, maybe, but this injector can cut to 200 parts water, or 0.5%, which is really, really thin. I mean, I don't know if you'd ever want to go thinner than that, but you could if you pre-dilute the soap ahead of time. But this is the list of ratio tips that this injector comes with. So it starts at 0.5%. The next one up is 0.8%, or 125 to 1. The one we ship out is 1%, or 100 to 1. And then it has kind of a big jump, which I wish they had one in the middle of this, but it jumps from 1% to 2.5%, which is 2.5 times as much soap, or 40 to 1. So I really wish they gave us another ratio tip in the middle there, like a 1.5% or something. If you wanted just a little more foam, but you don't want to blow through some soap, I think that's something that would be really nice if Suttner could make something like that, because that would be a huge perk on smaller machines to get you that little bit better foam, because the only real solution, it seems, is to use just a little more soap. But with such a big jump to the next size, now all of a sudden it's not a very efficient injector, and you probably would have to cut the soap down a little bit or add some water to get yourself in the ballpark of a reasonable strength. But let's see how this goes.
We're at about right here. Now I gotta get my hose primed up, and then we'll show how it all draws out. Okay, so I got it primed up. Now something to note is that when I turned on the water without turning on the pressure washer, the lower amount of pressure, I believe, is what causes this to draw. So it started to draw it out into the tube. So I connected the pressure washer tip to the gun, and it stopped drawing, and it just went to water. So that's my thoughts on it. I think low pressure is what causes it to draw. So if you don't put the spray tip on the end and you're just running water through it, it's going to start to draw soap, so keep that in mind. But no soap made it in there. I tested it out. It's all just water coming out. I'll even show you. All right, never mind. It's soap and water. Okay.
So it will...
I've got a learning curve here.
Now, the only thing with a downstream injector like that, and that's the same with any kind of downstream injector, when the soap is injected at the beginning of your length of hose, when you first switch back to the rinse nozzle, it's going to take some time for the hose to run through, for the soap to run through the hose. So you have maybe a 5 or 10 second lag to both turn on the soap and to turn off the soap while it makes its way through the hose.
Let me see if I can kind of clear this out, though. Okay, there we go. So you just let it run for a second, and then it'll get the water out, or it'll get all the soap out. So keep that in mind. Keep the pressure tips on if you don't want it to draw soap. But let me get the camera set up, and we'll show you how it works with the foaming tip. And I'm also going to learn because I haven't used this before. All right, so I'm going to use my lance on here. So we'll connect this to the end of there. It's a quick connect, so super easy. It's in. Get it all straightened out. And let's see how long it takes to start soaping.
I'm going to say like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was pretty close. About 5 seconds. It's not horrible foam, but it is kind of runny. It is pretty horrible foam. See, that's the problem. Because the nozzle size has to drop the pressure down to activate the Venturi remotely, it just doesn't whip up the soap as much. It comes out at the right strength, but it's not going to look as thick as a PF22 on a smaller machine. I think his machine said it was 1.3 gallons per minute at 1800 psi or 1900 psi. And that's just, I think that it's just not enough machine for it. You could try a smaller insert nozzle, and that might be what my guys recommend. But then you risk the injector not being able to operate and draw soap. Yeah, that's pretty sad foam. Hang on. Well, horrible foam.
All right, and that's what we get. Now that, honestly, it's not all that impressive, and I don't know if it's just because I have a low flow electric pressure washer. Maybe I gotta adjust the orifice size. Maybe it has something to do with this thing, which twists and...
Well, it is possible to try a smaller insert nozzle in that foamer head to try and whip it up more, and we might be able to get it working. I mean, you have a 2.0. I'll have to talk to my guys tomorrow and see what they sized it to in the foamer. Well, maybe Martin will show us. Hold on.
And that's all it seems to do is just spin it around. I think if this was more restrictive, maybe it would do better. Maybe from the end of the gun straight. Let's see how that does.
Nope.
Not much better, but look at the initial burst.
Yeah, the initial burst, so...
This is more what I was expecting.
Yeah. The reason the initial burst is better is because your power washer, when you release the gun, you hear it bog down. It's pressurizing the line a little more than when it's at operating pressure. So you're seeing the foam quality maybe I would get on one of my machines. But once it drops down to the operating pressure, then it just gets running.
This is what I'm getting. So I'll have to play around with the guys. You know, maybe I'll have to get another pressure washer to improve this. But I know it works. I've seen it in other videos. I know it works, but he's using like a 3 gallon per minute high PSI pressure washer.
Yeah, that's the difference. It really
anyways,
is. Yeah.
Let's get into the final thoughts of this video. All right, so final thoughts. First, we can see how much soap it used. Now, this seemed to use a lot more soap, and I think it's just because of the lower amount of pressure from the pressure washer, drawed more soap. So, for a pressure washer like this, I wouldn't say that it is going to...
That's like how much soap I use to wash a crane.
save you
I wonder
money
what's going on with that. Huh.
And the foam wasn't all that impressive compared to my foam cannon, which you may or may not have seen in my videos. That being said, I know my pressure, you know, foam cannons do a lot better when you give them a smaller orifice size, and I don't know if it's just because this, I think this foaming tip honestly just needs a smaller
Yeah, you're right on point, Martin.
More effective, or maybe it's the tip in here. I don't think this is going to improve the flow though. I think honestly, let me show you. I think I need something that's more restrictive on here because look at the opening on there. It's huge.
Well, that's not the nozzle. That's just the nozzle is that thing we were looking at, the inlet earlier. But I'm surprised that it used that much soap because we ship them out with the 1% ratio tip, and that's 1% of the overall flow. So if it's 1.3 gallons per minute on the power washer, then it should only be 1% of that it's drawing. So that should only be a few ounces. Weird. Very weird.
It's probably made for gas pressure washers. Or not gas pressure washers, but, you know, industrial and commercial gas and electric pressure washers. So, obviously I'm let down. I had high expectations for this, but I am going to figure things out. I'm probably going to contact Chem-X and say, you know, hey, this is what I was getting. Is there anything I can do to improve the foam here? Because, you know, for something like this isn't all that impressive. If I have to get a new pressure washer, you know, I might go that route, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, guys, leave your thoughts below. Give the video a thumbs up if you at least enjoyed it. I'm going to get to detailing this car, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
All right. Well, I'll give him a thumbs up. All right. Well, we'll get to the bottom of this. So, Martin, we'll send you out a smaller insert nozzle first, just to see what happens. I don't know what to think about that soap consumption, though. That's odd that a lower gallon per minute machine would have the effect of drawing that much more soap. The soap is drawn to a ratio tip, so it's a set size. I don't know, that's kind of odd. That's really weird, but we'll get to the bottom of it, and we'll take care of you if you know, if we can't figure that out. We'll just have you ship the thing back in, and I don't want you to be out all that money because it's an expensive piece. So, but yeah, a gas power washer like you mentioned before, that would definitely put out a lot more pressure. Gas machines are inexpensive and also put out a lot more, both pressure and gallons per minute in general. But yeah, I think that we'll have to look into this more. So, but anyway, I appreciate you giving us a review, man. Sorry it didn't work out for you. You know what I'll probably do is I'll do a wash on my own Jeep this week, and I'll do a side-by-side with the ST160 on one power washer and the PF22 on another, because I have two identical machines, and I think that'd be an interesting video anyway. I think that it would be kind of cool to see what it's like to calibrate a PF22 and get it to exactly 100 to 1. I'm sure I can do that, and then that would be kind of an interesting topic. And then we'll do half with the PF22, and then half with the ST160 and ST75. And we'll see how much soap they use and how the foam looks. But on my machines, that would be at 4 gallons per minute at 2,500 psi. So I might have to get a smaller power washer in just to like play with, because I would be curious. So Cameron says, I was hoping to see your feedback on this video. Oh yeah, cool. Well, I'm glad I was able to do this. I'm really excited that I'm set up to do these live streams because I think that it's gonna really help like get answers out in a better way and give people the help that they need. You know, detail it. Yeah, yeah. I'm curious to see what you think of it. Detail it. I think that because I think your machine is 2 gallons per minute, if I'm not mistaken. So I would be curious to see how that goes and also what your soap usage is. So definitely, unless you've already made a video, I don't know, but definitely make one. And I'll check that out too, because I would be curious. I would be curious. Let's see what the comment section looked like on that video, actually. Maybe I can help out in there too. Let's see. Suds and Go. Yeah, he grabbed one too. Same results with a Kranzel. Oh, Tony's right here. Yeah, he said, I think this system needs at least a 3 to 4 gallon per minute pressure washer to work. Yeah. I think that that's what it is. I think that that's what it is. Because you'll see a lot of these Suttner ST160s used like in Europe, and it's always on big rigs with bigger power washers. And I've always heard that detailers in the States here don't really like the ST160 and ST75 because they, you know, just the nature of the design of it, it just doesn't produce the same thick foam that a PF22 does. So Joe says, this might sound crazy, but hear me out. Instead of the silencer tip, just hook your regular foam cannon directly to the hose as usual, but without the bottle and seal the pickup tube. Yeah, so that wouldn't work. And the reason why is because the PF22 has, I'm pretty sure it's a 3.5 rinse nozzle inside of it for its own venturi. And that's too small. It maintains too much pressure in the line before the foamer to allow the ST160 to draw soap. So I wonder if that's what Martin said. Yeah, he tried that with no luck. Yeah, it wouldn't draw the soap. So, yeah, detail it. Yeah, I wasn't blown away either, but he would find value just because he doesn't have to worry about diluting soaps. I mean, that is still an advantage, but the problem when you don't have thick foam is that the soaps dry faster. So like if you're washing out in the sun, you wouldn't get as much time to work with the soap before it started to dry. So that's a bummer. And you always want nice foam, especially for an expensive piece like this. But let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, I think most power washers in the 2 gallon per minute range are not going to be able to pull it off and put good foam out with this injector. But I'll have to do some experiments. I'll do a video side by side this week, and see how that works. I think that it would be fun to just compare the two foam cannons and see what the foam looks like, even on my power washers. I know the foam's generally pretty good for me, but like I said, I have some good sized machines. So detail it. Okay, so it's arriving this week. Yeah. Well, we'll see. John, I use a 1.9 gallon per minute pressure washer and was wondering how the silencer would work just under 2 GPM. I mean, it would probably work like in this video, He was at 1.8, I think, and that's the same ballpark. I think it would have to be up in the 3 gallon per minute range to really work good, or more pressure. So like a gas machine would be generally more pressure, and I bet the extra pressure would help, either one or the other, but it would definitely have to have more pep. J831 wants to know, how bad is it if Stars and Stripes dries on the paint on any step, looking for a fleet wash for my 2 semis? If it dries on the paint, that's not really a big deal. If it dries on polished aluminum, you'll be polishing the aluminum again, most likely. It would just be either slightly tinged brown or it would be slightly dulled in a streaky kind of pattern. So don't let it dry on polished stuff. But on paint, I've never seen an issue. I've never seen an issue on paint. And really the main thing is if you are washing with Stars and Stripes, just tackle a section that's manageable, like a small area that you can get back to and rinse within, let's say, 5 minutes or so. So I usually break down, like today I did a wrecker, and I I did half at a time, even though I'm not in the sunlight. I'm in my wash bay, but yeah, I would just wash in sections, and then you don't have to worry about it anyway. Because you don't generally want your soaps to dry. That you're just not going to get as good results if you do, even aside from the idea of damaging stuff. So, Cameron, what are the specs on the washer you use in the shop link with this kit? Oh, yeah, so that's an interesting point here. Let's see. Let me go back here. So, I use, I have a few different ones. So, I'll show you the one that I normally use. This is the one I normally use. With the boom overhead. So this one's a pretty big spec. This one's 3.5 gallons per minute at 3,000 psi. And that's my silencer injector right there. And I run it at 1%. So the same as in this video actually. And I think if I'm not mistaken, let me go up here. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. So this is the silencer kit here. Yeah, so for me, I get some pretty good foam. It whips it up real nice at my specs, but I think it's all about the power washer driving it. I think you really just need a good amount of power washer to get that good thick foam. And what I'm curious about is, in my situation, will it be as good as as a PF22 or not, if you're looking for that nice, thick, clingy foam. So let's see here. Will you be doing a video on the Bissell versus my new extractor? Yes. But I got Kona back there recently. So I brought the little Bissell home because she's still learning the ropes, you know what I mean? So I've been needing that small extractor at my house. I'll bring it back over and then maybe we'll do some. I do want to do some side-by-sides. I think that would be fun. I've been taking it easy with that extractor because I felt bad because I sent so much work to my buddy Big Pete there. And I've been trying to make sure that I don't overwhelm him again. The poor guy's, just trying to keep up with the demand. That went pretty viral on TikTok, so it was fun. I was very proud of that, but he was having a hard time keeping up. So I'll do it soon though. Maybe once he says he's ready to rock and roll. So Tyler wants to know, can you use heavy duty on matte black rims to remove brake dust? Yes. It works good. I've done it before. Cameron, also, what is average Stars and Stripes consumption for, say, truck and trailer? Currently, I go through about 2 to 3 cannons worth. Does that sound about right? Yeah, that sounds about right. If you're cutting it down, I mean, you'd want to cut down Stars and Stripes about 4 to 1 into those cannons. I washed a wrecker today, like I mentioned earlier, and I used about 1/5 of a gallon of each. So I used a lot. I was surprised, but a wrecker is pretty big. So, on a normal truck, I would say I use maybe, I could probably get maybe 12 or 15 washes out of a set of gallons, something like that. But it all depends on how you move. That's a tough one. A lot of people have asked me over the years, like, how many washes am I going to get? And it's hard to know for sure because it depends on how dirty what you're cleaning is, how you move when you're applying it. There's a lot of people who stand in one spot and hammer it. And then there's people who move quick and they just get the soap on there and move on. So it's almost impossible to predict how many washes you're really going to get. I mean, I always try and look when I do a vehicle here and put that on video too and just see, because I am curious to answer the question. But how big what you're washing is a big factor too. The wrecker and the Terex crane used a similar amount of soap. Both of those instances, I'd get about 4 or 5 washes out of a set of gallons. So in that situation, you want to use like drums. You don't want to be messing around with gallons. But BVDB, when are you going to transport or sell your stuff to Europe? Hopefully soon. You know, we're a pretty small company, so we're still kind of working on growing and making sure that we do a good job here in the United States, because I don't want to make people wait a long time for their order. I would probably need a distribution hub over there somewhere, and I would have to figure out how to do that, and have basically a place that can relay from within Europe or Australia or wherever. So I don't really know how to do that yet, you know. And I know that we're mainly just making sure that we keep our orders flowing quickly here in the States, because I feel bad when people have to wait very long for their order. So recommendation on a mobile skid setup just for fleet. I don't really get into the mobile stuff. I mean, skid option, we can get those, but I don't usually do mobile washer setups. Normally we just not specify, what's the word? Specialize is the word I'm looking for. We usually specialize in setups like my wash bay here, where it's all stationary, electric setups, you know. Mobile washing stuff we don't get huge into, although we do have some people who have them. And in that case, you know, we provide a gasoline powered power washer, and you know, we've definitely helped set up a few people in the past. But wake the puppy up. Darren says hi. Kona, what are you doing over there? What are you doing sleeping? Well, yeah, she's tired. We've had a long day. But yeah, we'll get her awake next time. Well, anyway, nice to hang out with you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Martin, definitely we'll get in touch with you tomorrow and figure out what we can do to get you set up nice. And you know, I think we'll try the insert nozzles, tightening those up, and then I think the you know, the other option beyond that is we can just you know, hook you up with like a refund or something, so you're not just sitting on that, unless you wanted to get a bigger power washer, because that's really what's gonna, I think that's the only route that's gonna get you to a place where you'd be happy with the thing. You know, and I don't know what to think about that soap usage part. That's weird. But I will make a video this week comparing the silencer versus the PF22, and just see what, you know, how that goes. So, all right, guys. Well, have a good night, good hanging, and I'll definitely do one of these again soon. Stay tuned for more of these live streams. I mean, they're a lot of fun. They're easy to pump out and answer questions, and I've got a ton more videos that I want to react to as well. So, all right, you guys have a good one. We'll see you again soon.